All right, so I promised to do some alcohol ink ornaments, and I'm going to mess around with this little trick. I don't know if it's going to work. Something to help me out with holding the ornaments. We'll see. Howdy, howdy, this is Clara Lawrence. Okay, I'm going to work on alcohol ink ornaments today, and I want to show you a few things. So this is a little stand that I've got. It's just styrofoam, but I do want to point out that you do alcohol inks on styrofoam, it's porous, it'll seep through and make a big old mess. So just have something covering up your project. Anyway, I saw this little tip about doing up some plastic cups, and you slice like a little star with like an X-Acto knife, and the little neck of the ornament will fit in nicely, and it gives you something to hold on to. So we thought I'd give it a try just to find out how it would work as far as just holding this thing out. And well, let's just say I had some issues. It didn't quite work, and I ended up using my glove anyway, and that's okay. But overall, I was going to do a horizontal band, and then things went sideways quickly, and it was like, okay, plan B. So what I did is I shifted gears. I was going to show you this technique anyway. I just bumped it up a notch. So this is some of those Tim Holtz little damper sponges, and they've got them like pre-cut, and there's a Velcro end on the end of that stamper. And what you do, and make sure you only put one of those little sponges on, or pads on. I had two there, I didn't realize. But you load it up full of multiple different colors, and it will absorb the colors, and because of the moisture content of the pad, once the alcohol inks in there, it keeps them fairly wet. And you can blot and move these guys around, and by stamping over an area multiple times, you end up getting this mottled type of a look to it. And because alcohol ink reactivates other alcohol inks, it doesn't get too muddy, so it's a lot of fun. And I was having a heck of a time. There was a couple of the bottles that, like, I went to squirt it on the pad, it totally missed the pad, went shoot right across the room. It was like great. And of course you saw the one little bit that went on the ornament. I was having a good day. Okay, it wasn't really a terrible day, it was just a lot of mishaps. Anyway, so I've got this loaded up with, I've got a pearl on there, I've got a fluorescent yellow so it would stay nice and bright, and a nice blue. And I'm just tapping it all over, and eventually that little light layer is going to dry. And here's the part about it being dry, is that you can start building and building and building on colors. And you see how the pad's kind of moving a little bit? It's moving because I've got two pads on there and they're sliding. At any rate, so just a heads up. Yeah, so you see my little holder's not working, and it's like, okay, we're just going to dump this out. And I just keep on stamping it, and eventually you'll be able to get everywhere on the neck just by adjusting and adapting and working with your little ornament. But you see how if you look really closely, you get a mottled type of a look with the blue and the green and the yellow, and it's looking really, really pretty. And it's just this underpainting for right now. Just think of it as that, an underpainting, because we want to get something on there so that more ink can stick. So I'm applying some more blue on there. I believe this is where I put the metallic in. Excuse me, I had a really late night last night. Nope, I add some more of the neon. It's like I'm watching this video and giving you a play-by-play as we go along. Some more of the green. That's the green pearl. And I'll have pictures at the end of the video of the colors that I use. I'm just applying a little bit more color to it. Now I did test out, I have a little hair dryer, like a travel hair dryer. And I've never done this with ornaments before, but I tested it out very carefully to try to see if I could blow it on the ornament and it wouldn't get too hot and have problems. Now these ornaments aren't too terribly thick, so I definitely didn't want something breaking because of heat. So, and after a bit, you might get it so that your ornament is very, very wet, and you might want to put it to the side for a little bit just to dry off before you start adding and building your colors. So this is a great little project. If you've got a lot of videos to catch up on, you want to get a bunch of them done and like several, color schemes. Um, it's a very easy project to do. And then you can embellish this from this point on, meaning after you get your different layers, if you want to draw some gold, filigree on there, draw some names on there. Either way, it gives you a really good solid base to play with that's fairly simple to do. So I put that aside, let it dry for a little bit, and now I've got brass on here and some a little bit darker blue, and that's that indigo, which is a nice little bluish purple kind of color to really start to richen this up a little bit. And I wanted to put a couple drops onto the brass so that way it wouldn't be like strong dots of brass. It would kind of dissipate a little bit because I didn't want it to look like it was polka dotted, which it will almost look like that in the beginning, but it definitely does not when it's finished. I'm really happy with how it looks when it's finished. So you can see it's just a lot of repeat. And yeah, this is probably a good time to wear gloves because you will get it on your hands, and I did. But I'm not that worried about it. I get stuff on my hands all the time. But you see how the specks of the gold are coming out just very dainty like on there, and so I think it looks really neat because it looks like a sprinkling of gold. It's not gold, it's brass, but the brass does that where it does these sprinkles and will break up nicely. So just keep building it up until you get to the density that you're happy with. And I'm going to have a video coming out on this series where I show you an option of what you can do on the inside of your ornament. So, and you can start combining some of these techniques, meaning like you could do the inside technique and then do the alcohol ink on the outside, and the combination of the two should look really pretty together. And in fact, I think I'll do one of the videos where I do combine a couple of the techniques together so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know why this reminds me of stained glass a little bit. I kind of like it. Yeah. See, you could do this. Now, it's some of the areas that are really, really dark are going to take a little bit to dry. So give it that chance. All right, now it's all dry. Give it a couple light coats of the UV archival spray. Make sure you do matte. The gloss will reactivate, and nobody likes it to reactivate when it gets all pretty like, and then all of a sudden it's running. Make you smile. You make your smile go away. Anyway, so here's a close-up of what this looks like. And you can see it's fairly transparent. You can still keep on building up the colors. Or you can fill up the inside and make the inside opaque, and that would be really pretty. All right, y'all, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video up. Check the links in the description below for my Etsy store because I put a bunch of stuff up there just recently, and also any of the supplies I use. Later, y'all.